Oh, okay, making a video. Almost semi-back to regular, normal-ish function, I suppose. Anyway, amoxicillin does really is a wonder drug, save your ass kind of thing. Anyway, spare me some grief. Thank you, science and whatnot. Mold, thank you, mold, for teaching the scientists the secret. So subject, I really don't, kind of thin on subject. I was just contemplating though, trying to get to the root of this problem, which is, how we communicate, the problem of language, the problem of our reference points, what we consider sacred, what we're really, really secure, the beliefs, the ideas, the notions. What it comes down to, I read some comments, I don't know whose video it was, about, the meaning subject somewhere in there, and it was something where, 50% of life is your friends, and 50% is your work, and finding meaning in that, or some kind of bullshit like that. It's like, it says you. What can have meaning in your life could be one event. Say you actually rescue somebody, really save them. Like they would have been dead if you weren't there. You saved them, quite literally pulled them out of the swirling whatever, bread mixer. Had your heroic moment. That's a lot you could just live on that for a while. You could just call that the meaning of your existence, and everything else seems kind of mundane by comparison to your great deed. But then somebody like me will come along and say, oh, what did you save them for? So now they can die of cancer? Are you going to show up when they have cancer and rescue them again? Have you really done anything, accomplished anything? Because in the end, you just set them up for some more grief before they get thrown in the mixer again. So that's the problem with perspective, and how deep the rabbit hole goes, kind of metaphors people use. But yeah, shouldn't we always be looking to go as deep as we can, as far down as we can look, to try to find resolution to the question of what is the right thing? Yeah, that should be our goal. And so why isn't it for most humans? Why are, I guess the thing I'm really thinking about is just we can certainly categorize people. Saw a couple of comments by Luddite on Piro's video about the whatever the guy trial, and he just sounds like such a little Weasley racist. And you're just like, man, geez, all those big words, and he doesn't know what bigot means. Just kind of funny. And how dumb it is to be one. Yeah. Lost all kinds of respect. You let's see how to put this. You're just saying, how do people gain these perspectives? Certainly people can have personal experiences, and they can say, okay, I'm going to classify everybody based on my personal experiences. I'm going to say my personal experiences are the experience, and I'll assume, or whatever, I'll draw conclusions. And I'm all for that in a way. Evidence is evidence. Enough evidence is important, though, so I guess that's where you have to draw a line somewhere. And, if you're going to be fair, fairness says it's not the reality that these bad apples do spoil the pie, but we're smart enough to know they're bad apples, and we can't blame all the other apples because of these spoiled apples. It's just logical. But anyway, again, that subject. But just this idea of how do people gain these perspectives, these devotions, and these interests. And it's just kind of funny how there's so many categories. When you start subdividing us, we do have so much unique character, and you'd almost say that there wouldn't be enough room for this many categories, for this much uniqueness, in terms of differences, that the similarities they'd start blending together. And it's just kind of bizarre that that we aren't more Borgish in more overt ways. I guess pop culture sort of is, and different elements of pop culture, different elements of popular society, can certainly look very Stepford. They talk alike, they walk alike, blah 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 blah. Patty Duke show, whatever. It's there, but it's there's still all this conflict, these distinctions and differences, and they're not insignificant distinctions and differences. So I don't have anywhere to go with this, and beyond the sense that I think if we did have if we had a chart where we could lay everybody out on the chart and make the point that, well, this person never thought about the problem of, the paradox of, creating a creator to be the creator, and how that's infinite regression bullshit. And this person never thought of this, and this person never thought one step further here. That there is this problem where the answers aren't as simple as they appear. Saving a life isn't saving a life. You're delaying a death. And delaying death is different than saving a life. The terminology is wrong. And it needs to be understood that in some cases, maybe it's not a good idea to delay the death. Maybe they're better off getting it over with now than, facing the jaws later. Which isn't the subject of the video either, but that's sort of an interesting subject of, it's one of these core things that so few people, I think about. It's just that we are trained, programmed, inundated with this notion, again, that life is a big, fluffy, puffy yellow and green and, happy little word, and death is this horrible, nasty, creepy, crawly, buggy thing. And these are just notions. They have these aren't real descriptions. They're just labels and definitions that have been imposed on us through just mass exposure to them, and a complete lack of any conversation ever. I can't think of any time I ever saw the conversation take place, actually, in my entire life, where people actually discuss the reality, that life is a replicating molecule, that it consumes many more losers. The attrition rate is huge. That kind of perspective is just not presented. It's always this fluffy bullshit, this circle of this, it all works out in the end bullshit. And it's just bullshit. And again, even this question of what does it mean to rescue someone or save someone? Have you really done them a favor? Yeah. So, anyway, this is crap on my mind. So I don't know how to get around all this shit. I'm still just thinking there's got to be a formatted, step-by-step, incremental way of dealing with philosophy, where it can't get sidetracked, you can't get lost in bullshit. You just get right through it from, origin to, end game with a clear, straight, firm, logical progression. The truth seems to me to be there. It's within our grasp to create a model of reality. So maybe I'll make this model of reality too, as I said the words, even though it's not really about the model of reality. Yeah, I started off feeling a little better than I feel now. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully I'll be able to slide into the old routine. It's probably part of my problem is I never really feel good. Yeah. It's probably, yeah, I guess I've always been part of the reason why I've asked all these questions. It's because I always had a thing running through me saying things aren't right. I've always felt quite uncomfortable most of the time. And, that does make you think, why am I uncomfortable? Why, it just makes you more likely to start asking questions, I suppose, when things just don't feel right, don't seem right. So, I guess most people don't have that advantage, and I'll call it an advantage for sure. But a thinking advantage anyway, because we are just such, we get caught in it, we get sucked into it. These are real, reasonable metaphors for what happens to us. We get pulled into life, grabbed by it. It gets its hooks into us, and it yanks us, with these attachments and addictions and dependencies. Dependency, addiction, it's the same word in a way. But yeah, it does play us that way. Yeah. And, it's good to be able to step away from that, to get some distance from it playing you, and gets a little realer about what you're accomplishing and why you're trying to accomplish it. What are you trying to accomplish? I guess as soon as you ask yourself that question, these are like really simple questions, but you can ask yourself that question. And I did that in my youth, and all the answers sucked. I started answering with I want, I need, I want, I need. And I was like, oh, I see. So it's just about you being a selfish fuck. And, that was sort of a discouraging realization that just about every reason I was playing the game was a selfish reason. There really wasn't anything in me that was decent or good. I just pretended to be decent and good because I knew that would be to my advantage. And when I saw myself playing that liar's game, that was a jolting moment in terms of my capacity to just play along. And I, became even more hostile to what was going on because I was so pissed off that it even fooled me. I thought I was a cynic, at 11, I really did. And, here I had been gamed by the game. I was just as big a fraud as everybody else. That was a big transition point in my realization. Was this realization that basically everything that moved me and motivated me sucked. That was the truth. I was just a wanter. And, yeah, I mean, a taker at heart. And yeah, I just, yuck. It's not a good thing. I mean, when you really look at it. I guess most people just don't pull their inner shit out and really look at it. So if they did, they go, ew, I suck. I made it suck. That's just a bunch of gunk that I'm running on. So anyway, this video sort of meandered a bit. That's okay, I think. So, day 1 of Lyme disease recovery. Anyway, till next time, and such and so forth. I hurt my back having Lyme disease. I slept wrong apparently. Anyway, till next time. And such.